Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another video on RC in Motion. And we're here with the TrailCrusher build. Today we're going to cover tires and wheels and how to mount them properly, as well as a small portion of the links. I know links is kind of boring, it's just putting a rod end inside of a thread, and that's pretty much it. But let me cover the links real quick and show you the setup that I have for links. Now these links aren't your stock Axial SCX10 links. These are, get to focus there, there we go. These are the aluminum, lightweight, low-seat comp crawler links. They come like in a gunmetal color, but I went ahead and sanded them out. Put some black coating on there. It's used for aluminum, and then I backed it up with some clear flat, not shiny, I didn't like shiny, some clear flat enamel, and bam, that's what you get. So here are all of them, all the links, and like I said again, these are the low seat comp crawler links. A little bit beefier than your normal SCX10 poncho. But that's the links portion. I went ahead and built them all, and since I'm running the 4-link conversion front and rear, that's gonna go in perfect. So today we have the wheels. We have the iRock Lock 1.9, I believe it's called. Yeah, the Rock Locks 1.9 comp tires. You guys have some links in the description below. These tires are a soft, medium compound. They're not that soft and they're not that hard, so they're just about right. They seem pretty sticky. We'll see how that goes out on the trailer. So we have a 1.9 here. This seems a little bit bigger than a normal 1.9, but they'll do. They're not on the ban list for the 2014 comps. So they're a legal tire to use on your local comps, and if you're doing national comps as well, scale comps, I'm sorry. Here we have the Hot Racing white steel 5-lug wheels. These are 1.9 as well. You guys have a link in the description of this as well, and I already took one apart, and I'm going to show you what they consist of. They consist of a front, rear, and then you have your inner ring, okay, and it all pretty much mounts up like this. Okay, I bought these wheels. I did a couple measurements, and I measured the tire before I purchased them. I measured them. I checked the measurements out on the RC 4-wheel drive website. I went to the HR website, measured them. They're off by, I mean, tenths of a millimeter. It's not that much by what they're off by, but they'll still fit these wheels. Now I know most of the wheels RC 4-wheel drive sells most of their bead locks. If you're purchasing bead locks, the bead locks off-brand, they're not gonna fit, such as Pro Lines. They don't fit at all. But with a little bit of homework, do a little bit of homework, and you'll find the right wheel at a low cost, like these, all four for about $30. And it's your normal. I have Steelies on my other rigs, and they all seem to work pretty good. I have RC 4-wheel drive Steelies, and this seems to be the same hardened material, and it seems durable as well. So we're gonna do this real quick on camera. I'm at 4 minutes. I want to make this a short video and then mount them all and then come back to you guys. So let's go ahead and do this. I forgot to mention the rear adapter is going to be upgraded with an RC 4-wheel drive one, but for now we're just going to put this one on just for the mock-up setup. But this is the adapter that has the pin in the rear instead of the hex adapter. So we'll switch it out later on, but right now it's not a priority. It's not going to affect any type of performance. So let's go ahead and put that in. And now when you're putting this inner bead, you want to make sure it's properly seated. Okay, right now it's just the stock foam. Seems like a medium compound. It's not hard or too soft. It feels all right, just like other RC four-wheel drive tires. So you want to make sure that that inner ring is seated properly. Okay, it's within your grooves of your wheel here, of your tire. I'm sorry. Okay, you guys can see that. See the inside. Okay. Now with these wheels, you want to pop in the rear half in first. Okay, because it's like the most, like it's the toughest one to pop in. What I like to do, look at that, seats in perfectly. You just seat in, it's perfectly seated. Okay, now the front end comes next. Now what I like to do is inside the wheel itself, or on the bead on here, just a tiny part. If you can't line up these holes properly, the holes for the screws, just make a mark where all the holes, even for the wheel itself, these outer holes, line up properly, and make another one on the inside, like with a Sharpie or just a mark with a screwdriver. That way, you know, you line up those two marks, and it's gonna be perfect every time. So right now, it's properly lined up. You guys can see now. I'll go ahead and stretch that bead out so it can sit properly. We have less of a struggle when we're putting in those screws. Now these screws that hold it, let me put it here like this. These screws that hold it are these little tiny 1.5 millimeter screws. Look at that. That is tiny. And they have a little nut to go with them. So I'm still debating whether to go this route, which looks kind of scale, or this route. So just for the purpose of the video, we're just gonna go ahead and do it the right way. Later on, we'll go ahead and change it. So we'll go ahead and put in one screw. And then we're gonna put in one nut here. I've mounted all 5 screws and nuts. Now, here's a little tip. When you're tightening these screws, your first one, whichever side you choose first, what you want to do is just tighten it slightly, not like hammer it down tight. Just tighten it a little bit, put in the second one across from it, and then your third one, since this is a 5 lug, it's not a 6. The 6 would be easier because you can do a star pattern. But what I did, I just made like a Y, so I'd go 1, 2, and then this one down here. So 1, 2, and then down. So I make like a Y, and then I insert these 2, and then you tighten them in a star pattern. So this one you can actually do a star pattern. This is only 5, just like a star. So we can go ahead and tighten one down, and the other side. Okay. And then we go across from that one, and we go up. Like that. And you can tighten them down however you want, or however far down you want them. If you over tighten them, that bead is gonna pop. And if you just leave them loose, then you're gonna lose the screws. So you could hear no air escape when I tighten it down. It actually looks like there's air inside the wheel itself. So inside the tire, I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and mount the other 4, and then I'll come back to you guys. And we're back, and they are all mounted and ready to go on the axles. This is what they look like, front and rear, and they all seem like they have air inside. There's no air escaping whatsoever. That gap is pretty tight. Like I said, quick tip again, you guys that are familiar with my videos know at the end of my videos I give you a quick tip, and like I said, stick with that star pattern. With these tires, there is no sense of direction in a way, because the tread on the tire is just any direction. So if you have other tires, which ones can I reference to? Super Swampers, the mud boggers. We could use those as an example. The mud boggers, you have a certain tread that goes forward. So you want to make sure that tread is going forward because you want it to dig. Some people prefer them in reverse or opposite ways, so that's personal preference. But with these tires, you don't have to worry. It's pretty much any way fits, and any way is any direction. So you want to make sure you go ahead and mark the tires. What I like to do, it's a habit I have with racing, just so each tread pattern can wear off the exact same time and the exact same way, is what I like to do. Maybe in the inside or on the tire itself, I would put like right side rear or right side front, RF right front, or LF left front, and so on, just to have your tires from wearing out differently on each side. That's my little tip, kind of. Of course, I already told you guys about the marker. You guys can make sure you line up the holes, because sometimes these wheels, they can be offset by a little millimeter, and it seems like they're all set and done, but then you look at it and it has like a little part of the back end showing. So just take that Sharpie, mark it in the inside, mark the front one, mark the rear, so that way you prevent yourself from getting a headache trying to set the holes properly. You just line up the marks, put it on. That's my tip of the day, kind of. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, and in the next video we will be mounting the axles and the links. There's a separate video for that as well. Just share it, like with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one.